Venturing further into the cradle of Western civilization, the Roman bridges that dot the landscapes of Europe and beyond stand as paragons of arched perfection. Their semicircular or segmental designs, allowing spans far longer than primitive beam structures, as seen in the Alcantara Bridge over Spain's Tagus River, completed in AD 106 under Emperor Trajan, with its 6 soaring arches reaching 194 feet in height, inscribed with dedications that speak of eternal glory, yet now enveloped in the quietude of olive groves and rolling hills, where the warm Iberian breeze carries whispers of the legions that once crossed it, inviting modern visitors to linger on its parapets and let worries dissolve like morning mist. In the enchanting city of Venice, where canals weave like silken threads through a tapestry of Renaissance splendor, the Rialto Bridge arches proudly over the Grand Canal, its single stone span of 24 feet wide and 92 feet long, completed in 1591 after designs by Antonio da Ponte, who outshone even Michelangelo in the competition, lined with bustling shops that once housed merchants trading spices and silks. But in the hush of evening, when gondolas glide silently beneath, it transforms into a beacon of serenity, its Istrian stone glowing under lantern light, evoking romantic reveries and a profound sense of continuity as couples pause to admire the view, their hearts attuned to the rhythmic lapping of water against ancient pilings. Not far away, the Ponte Vecchio in Florence graces the Arno River with its medieval charm. Rebuilt in 1345 after a devastating flood, unique in its covered design with overhanging shops that originally served butchers, but now gleam with jewelers' treasures, including a secret elevated corridor above for the Medici family's private crossings. And as the sun sets behind the Tuscan hills, casting amber reflections on the water, this bridge becomes a haven for dreamers, its arches framing vistas that soothe the soul and inspire poets to pen verses of enduring love and quiet reflection. Crossing continents to the misty realms of Central Europe, Prague's Charles Bridge unfolds like a Gothic fairy tale, its 1,700-foot length adorned with 30 Baroque statues of saints, begun in 1357 under King Charles IV, and finished in the early 1400s, having survived catastrophic floods in 1432 and 1890 through sheer resilience and community spirit. Now a pedestrian paradise where street musicians play soft melodies and artists sketch the Vltava River's gentle curves, offering a space to unwind amid the spires of the old town and the castle's distant silhouette, where each stone tells a story of faith, artistry, and the calming passage of time.
Even in the rugged terrains of Texas, historic bridges like the 1870 Waco Suspension Bridge over the Brazos River evoke a sense of pioneer tranquility. Its 475-foot span, once the longest west of the Mississippi, designed by John A. Roebling before his Brooklyn Bridge fame, with monumental brick towers rising like ancient sentinels, now repurposed as a pedestrian walkway, flanked by lush parks where families picnic under shady oaks, the river's lazy flow providing a backdrop for relaxation and introspection on America's frontier heritage. Similarly, the Iron Bridge in England's Shropshire, the world's first cast iron span, opened in 1781, curves elegantly over the Severn Gorge amid verdant woodlands, its 100-foot arch a symbol of the Industrial Revolution's dawn. Yet today, it stands as a UNESCO site where visitors stroll in peaceful contemplation, the surrounding gorges' wildflowers and bird calls harmonizing with the bridge's graceful lines to create an oasis of industrial poetry. These bridges, in their varied forms, from the clapper's rustic slabs to the arch's soaring curves, serve as portals to bygone eras, where the stresses of daily life fade into insignificance against the backdrop of their steadfast presence, encouraging us to slow our pace, breathe in the fresh air scented with history, and find solace in the knowledge that humanity's greatest achievements often emerge from a quiet balance between innovation and nature's rhythms. As we delve deeper into this exploration, allow the visuals of mist-shrouded mornings and sunset-kissed stones to envelop you, the narration's soothing timbre to lull your thoughts, and the intriguing facts to spark gentle curiosity without overwhelming the mind. For in the world of historic bridges, every crossing is an invitation to inner peace. A bridge not just over water, but over the chasms of time and turmoil that separate us from true relaxation.
Let us now drift gently eastward, carried on the soft current of centuries, to where the ancient world meets the eternal calm of flowing water. The lands of Mesopotamia, Persia, and the high plateaus of Anatolia, cradles of the very first dreams humanity ever dared to build across rivers. Long before the Romans perfected the semicircular arch, long before Venice rose from its lagoon, there lived a quiet genius in the mountains of eastern Turkey who, around the year 850 BC, gave the world one of the oldest surviving stone arch bridges still carrying footsteps today. Imagine the dusk settling over the broad valley of the East Euphrates, the air scented with wild thyme and the distant lowing of goats, as the Cendere Bridge, known to the Romans later as the Septimius Severus Bridge, rises in a single breathtaking leap of 120 feet across a gorge so deep that the river below becomes a silver ribbon glinting in the half-light. Built by the little-known kingdom of Commagene, its limestone blocks, some weighing more than 10 tons, were hauled by sledges and rolled on logs up the steep slopes, then locked together without a trace of mortar, the entire 400-foot span resting on nothing but the perfect balance of its two soaring arches and the slender elegance of its central pier. For over 2,000 years it has stood here, untouched by earthquake or flood, while empires rose and crumbled around it. Even the Romans, when they arrived, were so awed that they merely added honorific inscriptions to the existing structure rather than replace it. Tonight, if you walk its ancient pavement alone, the only sounds are the wind sighing through the rocks and the faint splash of water far below, an almost meditative hush that makes the heart slow to match the rhythm of the earth itself. Nearby, in the same forgotten corner of Anatolia, another whisper from prehistory survives, the 3,000-year-old Malabadi Bridge over the Batman River. Its pointed arch, a graceful Gothic curve centuries before Europe dreamed of cathedrals, decorated with delicate stone carvings of lions and celestial symbols that glow amber when the low sun strikes them. Local legend says that on quiet nights, the bridge sings softly, the wind moving through hidden cavities carved by its Artukid builders in 1147, producing a low, mournful note that lulls travelers to sleep in the nearby caravanserai ruins. Whether the song is real or imagined matters little. The feeling of profound stillness it bestows is undeniable, as if time itself pauses out of respect for this slender span of stone that has watched 1,000 generations come and go.
Further along the Silk Road, where the mountains of Iran fold into endless layers of rose and violet at twilight, we find the masterpieces of the Safavid era. Bridges so perfectly proportioned, they seem to have grown out of the river rather than been built over it. The Kaju Bridge in Esfahan, completed in 1650 under Shah Abbas II, is not merely a crossing, but a palace suspended above the Zayende River, its 23 arches reflected so flawlessly in the still water that the entire structure appears as an endless circle of stone and sky. By day, it is a thoroughfare. By night, when the lanterns are lit and the water gates beneath are opened, it becomes a symphony of gentle cascades, the sound of water pouring over the steps designed specifically to create soothing music for the citizens strolling above. Shahs and poets would sit for hours in the octagonal pavilions built into the bridge's thickness, sipping tea while the river's song washed away the cares of empire. Even now, when the Zayende sometimes runs dry in drought years, the bridge keeps its promise of peace. Families gather on its broad walkway, sharing quiet conversation beneath the stars, the cool stone beneath them holding centuries of the same ritual. A few miles downstream stands its elegant sibling, the Sio Sepol, the bridge of 33 arches, its elongated form stretching nearly 1,000 feet like a leisurely sigh across the water. Built in 1602, its lower level was designed for horses and caravans, its upper for pedestrians who wish to walk above the fray. And on summer evenings, when the river runs high, the arches frame perfect golden rectangles of sunset that photographers chase and lovers simply breathe in. There's a Persian saying that to cross the Sio Sepol at dusk is to leave half your sorrows on one bank and collect only lightness on the other. Whether folklore or truth, the feeling is palpable, an almost physical loosening of the chest as the cool river breeze rises through the arches and the day's heat dissolves into memory.
Still traveling east, we arrive at the serene mountain kingdom of Bhutan, where the tradition of building bridges is considered a sacred act of compassion. In the hidden valley of Punakha, suspended high above the rushing turquoise confluence of the Po Chu and Mo Chu rivers, sways one of the most tranquil structures on earth, the Punakha Cantilever Bridge, reconstructed faithfully to its 17th century design after storms repeatedly claimed earlier versions. No nails, no mortar, only interlocking wooden beams and stones. Prayer flags fluttering in every color of the rainbow, their gentle flapping the only sound besides the river's low chant far below. Monks in maroon robes cross it daily without hurry, spinning handheld prayer wheels, and the bridge answers with a soft creaking that feels like the valley itself breathing. It is said that Guru Rinpoche, the saint who brought Buddhism to Bhutan, flew here on the back of a tigress and blessed this very crossing. Whether one believes the legend or not, the atmosphere is undeniably holy, wrapped in mist and incense, pine-scented air, and the distant tolling of monastery bells. To stand at its center is to feel suspended not only above water, but above time, worries dissolving like the clouds that drift through the surrounding peaks. And then, in the far reaches of the Himalayas, we come to a bridge that is barely a bridge at all, yet perhaps the most soothing of any we will meet tonight. The Hussaini Hanging Bridge in northern Pakistan, a slender rope and plank pathway, swaying high above the Hunza River, amid some of the most awe-inspiring mountain scenery on the planet. Rebuilt every few years by local villagers using traditional methods, its gaps between boards are wide enough to glimpse the glacial torrent hundreds of feet below. Yet the people of Pasu cross it with calm certainty, singing softly to keep rhythm with the swaying. For the traveler willing to breathe deeply and trust, there is no greater lesson in letting go. Each step is a small surrender, each gust of wind a reminder that we are held by something larger than ourselves. When the sun drops behind Rakaposhi's 25,000-foot summit, and the sky turns the color of pale rose, the bridge becomes a golden thread stitched between earth and heaven, and those who cross it at that hour often find tears on their cheeks for no reason they can name, only a vast, wordless peace.
Close your eyes now and let these distant places settle over you like the softest blanket. The low song of the Malabadi at midnight, the lantern-lit waterfalls of Kaju, the prayer flags of Punakha dancing in Himalayan silence, the fearless swaying of Hussaini beneath star-drunk skies. Feel the ancient stones beneath your bare feet, cool and smooth from centuries of gentle footsteps. Hear the rivers that have never ceased their murmuring lullabies. All across the world, these quiet spans wait patiently, holding space for any weary heart that needs to cross over, not just from one bank to another, but from restlessness into rest. Let the night deepen around you now, soft and velvet dark, as we drift northward from the high Himalayas into the mist-shrouded valleys and silent forests of medieval Europe, where bridges were not merely built, but prayed into being. Each stone laid with the hush of monks chanting psalms and the slow turning of seasons. There is a place in central France, hidden among the folded green hills of the Creuse department, where time itself seems to have fallen asleep on a cushion of moss, the Pont du Diable at Croc, one of more than 40 French bridges that carry the name Devil's Bridge, yet none feels more gently haunted than this one. Built sometime in the late 1200s by an unknown master mason, it is a single, impossibly slender Gothic arch that rises 98 feet above a quiet stream no wider than a village lane. Legend says the villagers tried for years to span the ravine, and every attempt collapsed at moonrise, until one desperate night they made a bargain with the devil. He would build the bridge in one night if he could claim the first soul to cross it. At dawn, the span stood perfect, luminous in the pale light, but when the devil came to collect, the clever villagers sent a cat across with a bell around its neck. Enraged, he tried to destroy his own work, but could not. The arch was already consecrated by morning birdsong and the laughter of children. Whether you believe the tale or not, the bridge today is a sanctuary of perfect stillness. On windless evenings, the water below barely moves, reflecting the arch so flawlessly that the structure appears as a complete stone circle floating in air. Sit on the low parapet with your legs dangling over centuries of silence, and the only sound is the occasional plop of a trout rising for flies and the soft rustle of beech leaves overhead. Even the swallows that nest in the crevices seem to fly more slowly here, as though reluctant to disturb the peace.
A few hundred miles north, in the misty dawn of the Scottish Highlands, another bridge waits like a sleeping dragon curled over its loch, the Carbridge Packhorse Bridge, built in 1717 to allow funeral processions to reach Duthel Church in all weathers. Its single high arch, now softened by 2 centuries of moss and lichen the color of sage and amber, soars above the Dulnane River in a graceful hump that makes every photograph look like a watercolor painting left out in the rain. The river beneath is rarely more than knee-deep, yet it sings with a soft, continuous murmur that Highland grandmothers say is the voice of the old ones still making their slow way to burial. In autumn, when the birch and rowan turn gold and crimson, the bridge becomes a frame for drifting leaves that spin lazily downward like tiny bright boats, and the air smells of peat smoke and wet stone. There is a bench, little more than a fallen slab, halfway across, where generations of walkers have paused to listen to that water music, eyes closed, shoulders loosening as though an invisible hand were smoothing the knots from their backs. On the rare nights when the aurora borealis unfurls its green silk overhead, the arch glows faintly with reflected light, and those who stand here swear they feel the centuries gently rocking them the way a mother rocks a child. Further still, into the deep pine forests of southern Germany, we find a bridge so small and perfect it seems to have been built by woodland spirits rather than men. The Raketsbrücke in Kromlau Park, completed in 1860 as a deliberate folly, a razor-thin parabola of basalt stones that forms a perfect circle with its own reflection in the still lake below. The local count who commissioned it forbade anyone to walk across, believing the circle must never be broken. And even today, a discreet sign asks visitors to admire from the shore. On calm mornings when the mist rises in slow spirals from the water, the bridge appears to float in mid-air, a stone moon caught between earth and sky. Dragonflies hover above the surface, kingfishers flash electric blue, and the only movement is the almost imperceptible drift of fallen pine needles settling onto the water like golden snow. People speak in whispers here without meaning to. The place insists on reverence the way cathedrals once did. Couples who come at twilight often find themselves holding hands without remembering who reached first, breathing in unison with the quiet that is deeper than any silence they have ever known.
And then, when the moon is full and high, let us slip across the North Sea to one of the most tender bridges ever conceived by human hearts, the little wooden footbridge on the estate of Sissinghurst Castle in Kent, England, built in the 1930s by Vita Sackville West and Harold Nicholson as part of their legendary garden. It is barely 15 feet long, painted the softest white, arched just enough to let a narrow stream pass beneath, and overhung by cascades of old roses and clematis that drop their petals onto the planks in summer. Vita wrote of sitting here on sleepless nights, listening to the water and the faint rustle of night creatures, letting the scent of damp earth and blooming nicotiana wash the ache of longing from her chest. Today, visitors are asked to cross one at a time so the old boards do not groan too loudly, and almost everyone obeys without being told twice. There is something about the hush of the place that makes hurry feel obscene. If you pause in the center and rest your forearms on the rail, you can feel the faintest tremor of the stream flowing beneath, a vibration so gentle it is more memory than movement, as though the bridge itself has a heartbeat slowed to the pace of deep sleep. These small, half-forgotten bridges of Europe, the ones that never carried armies or emperors, only villagers, mourners, lovers, and dreamers, hold a different kind of serenity from the grand monuments we met earlier. They are not triumphs over nature, but quiet conversations with her. They do not shout eternity, they whisper it, the way a lullaby is whispered into a child's hair. No trumpets, no inscriptions, no guidebooks crowding the parapets, just stone or wood shaped by hands that understood the holiness of simple passage, and water that has never stopped singing the same 2 or 3 notes for 1,000 years. Sit with them in your imagination now. Let the moss cool your cheek, the rose petals brush your wrist, the Highland stream carry your thoughts downstream like bright leaves. Feel the centuries settle around your shoulders, not as weight, but as warmth, the way a heavy quilt feels when you finally surrender to sleep.
When rain begins, and in this forest it begins softly, like someone remembering a lullaby, the water does not fall on you. It is caught and redirected by the living roof, trickling down the outer roots in perfect silver threads that never touch the path. People say that if you enter the tunnel carrying anger or grief, the banyan slowly absorbs it the way it absorbs sunlight. And by the time you emerge on the far side, your shoulders have lowered without your permission, and your breath has found the same slow rhythm as the dripping roots. Now let the lantern dim further until its glow is only a memory, and we drift across centuries to feudal Japan, where bridges were designed not for speed but for contemplation. In the gardens of Kyoto, the Togetsukyo Bridge, Moon Crossing Bridge, has arched over the Oyu River since 836, though the present wooden span dates to the 1600s. It is deliberately narrow, forcing every passerby to slow almost to stillness, and the railing is worn satin smooth by millions of reverent hands. At night, when the lanterns along the banks are lit and the mountains beyond turn indigo, the bridge becomes a dark silhouette against the moon's reflection in the water. And the sight is so perfectly balanced that poets have wept here for 1,000 years. Basho himself paused on this very span in 1689, brush in hand, and wrote nothing at all for a long while. Later, he simply noted that the moon seemed to hesitate before crossing, unwilling to disturb the silence. Even now, on autumn evenings when maple leaves drift down river like slow red lanterns, couples walk to the center and stand without speaking, letting the cold wooden planks cool the heat of the day from their feet while the river sings its single endless note beneath them. Further north, in the cedar forests of Nikko, there is a bridge that most visitors never see because it is painted the exact vermilion of dried blood and hidden behind clouds of mist, the Shinkyo, the sacred bridge belonging to the Futarasan Shrine. Built in 1636, though legend claims a much older origin involving a god tossing two serpents across the Daya River to form the first span, it is considered so holy that for centuries only the emperor and his emissaries were allowed to walk upon it. Today anyone may cross, but almost no one does. The presence of the place is too strong, like stepping into the hush just before a bell is struck. The river below is the color of green jade and moves so swiftly that it makes no sound at all, only a low, continuous exhalation, as though the mountain itself is breathing through the gorge. When cherry blossoms fall in spring, they do not float. They are snatched instantly downstream, vanishing like pink breaths. Stand at the foot of the bridge at dawn, when the priests are still asleep, and the only movement is incense smoke curling from the shrine gate, and you will feel something ancient and gentle settle over your skin. Not awe exactly, but recognition, as if the bridge remembers every footstep it was ever denied, and now offers its stillness to anyone weary enough to accept it. You presumably know that 2 centuries ago, the two serpents were killed and replaced by this carved bridge, too, or did I imagine that?
And finally, tonight, let us visit one last living bridge that belongs to no continent at all, only to the human heart. It exists wherever someone, somewhere, closes their eyes and feels the cool wood or warm root or cold stone of every bridge we have crossed together, resting beneath their bare feet at once. It sways like the Husseini ropes, drips like the Javan tunnel, glows like the Sumatran roots, and arches like the sacred Shinkyo, all at the same time. Its railings are made of every lullaby your mother ever sang. Its planks are the slow exhalation of forests older than sorrow. And the river beneath it is the blood moving quietly in your own wrists. You have been walking it all along, without knowing, every time you let the day's noise drain out through the soles of your feet. There is no toll, no guardian, no need to open your eyes. Just keep walking, slowly, the way moonlight walks across still water, until the far bank, whatever name it has for you tonight, rises gently to meet you. The lantern has gone out now. The night is complete. Yet somewhere inside you, a small warm ember still glows. The memory of living roots beneath your feet, the hush of sacred vermilion wood, the slow breathing of ancient forests, the moon hesitating over Kyoto's quiet river. That ember,
is yours to keep. Carry it with you. If these gentle bridges have eased something tight in your chest tonight, if the sound of distant water and the feel of cool stone have lulled you toward the softest sleep, then please, before the feeling fades, do one small thing. Reach out and tap that subscribe button below. Let it be the quiet toll you pay to cross back here whenever the world grows too loud. Ring the bell beside it, too, the little one that looks like an old temple gong, so that every time we light the lantern again and walk to another forgotten bridge, you'll feel the faintest tug, like a root gently nudging your ankle to remind you the path is still open. And if a single moment tonight, the fireflies in the living bridge, the moonlit arch in Japan, the moss-soft Scottish humpback settled over you like a blanket you didn't know you needed, share this video with someone whose shoulders are carrying too much. Send it the way you would send a cup of warm tea on a cold evening, wordlessly, kindly, knowing it will be received with gratitude. We'll keep walking these quiet spans, collecting more lullabies of stone and wood and water, saving them for the nights when you need them most. All you have to do is come back. The bridges never move. They simply wait, patient as starlight, for your footsteps to return. Until then, breathe out. Let the river take whatever you no longer need. Sleep deeply, dream gently, and know that somewhere, right now, an ancient arch is holding the night perfectly still, just for you. Good night. Subscribe, turn on the bell, and I'll see you on the next bridge when you're ready.